Hey YouTube, this is Millennial Professor, and today I want to talk about 4 things that you can do as a new hire to prepare yourself for the first day of school. These are all things that you can do on campus to make your transition a lot easier. Before we get started, I want to say congratulations. If you're watching this video, it means that you got your first teaching job, or maybe you just got another job on top of all your other adjunct positions, and you're just starting at a new school. Regardless, that's awesome. I know how competitive it is to get adjunct positions, and there are a lot of people that struggle to find work. So pat yourself on the back and know that you belong here. You've earned your spot, and that it's just a matter of kind of figuring out your place in all of this. Hopefully this list is going to help you transition easier and just make your first day a lot more seamless. Okay, so my first tip is don't expect the orientation to be all that helpful. Now, all schools do their orientations differently. Most schools that have orientations that I've been hired at have had a campus-wide orientation, meaning that usually, especially for fall hires, a couple weeks before school, they'll have everyone who's been hired new for the fall come onto campus, and they'll do this day-long orientation where they'll talk about all the campus policies, they'll do a tour of the school, and basically just give you a general overview of what it's like to work on campus. Now, I definitely recommend going to these orientations because it's a great excuse to go to campus. You can also run any of your errands while you're there, meaning getting your parking permit, your faculty ID, that sort of thing. But as far as being helpful in understanding what you're going to be teaching or what the expectations are for your teaching, that's not going to help very much. I worked at one school that did have a department orientation, and that was really helpful, but you can't really expect that to happen because a lot of the time the departments just don't have the budget to do that. So if that's the case, what I recommend is seeing if you can talk to someone who currently works at the school. This might be the person who hired you, maybe the department head, or just someone who's full-time or an adjunct that's been working there a while. What they can do is kind of explain where to find the information that you're going to need to know to create your syllabus, your curriculum, that sort of thing. A lot of the time it is available online, but finding it can be difficult. So if you can talk to someone who already works there, you're going to save yourself a lot of time. My second tip is kind of related to my first in that when you are on campus, whether because of orientation or you're just visiting, make sure to get your errands done before the first day of school. I have tried on the first day of school before to pick up my keys or get my parking permit, and you can do it, but expect it to take triple, if not quadruple, the amount of time because students are going to be doing the exact same thing. So what I recommend is if you do have to pick up any keys, any parking permits, get your faculty ID done, do that early because you don't want to be running around the first day. Another thing is, if possible, make your prints, whether that's your syllabus or any first day activities, do that early. Again, you can do it the first day, plenty of teachers will, but you expect to stand in line and people are going to be a little grouchy. So if you can possibly get it done early, go onto campus, get that done. I highly recommend it. My third tip is figure out where you're going to park. So a lot of the time, most campuses will have faculty parking, which is great. Usually it's up front. However, you can expect that parking is going to be taken up by people who are teaching super early morning classes first. So if you're not teaching one of those classes, 8 a.m. or even earlier, you might have some problems even getting faculty parking, especially the first couple weeks of school. So what I recommend is just having some backups of other places you can park. So usually, at least in the campuses that I've worked at, schools will have kind of smaller parking lots that are super close to campus and then larger parking lots either near the stadium or slightly off campus where faculty and students can park and then walk onto campus. Of course, it would be great if we could all just park close to campus, but that's not always the case, especially, again, if you're not teaching one of those early morning classes. So just be aware of that, leave yourself some extra time, and know where those parking lots are so that you're not stressing yourself out trying to find a parking lot, 20 minutes before your class meets. So yeah, just be aware of that, and do know that it is going to calm down a bit after the first couple weeks of class once people get more into their schedules and students drop out of classes. And then it's going to be a lot easier for you to get a parking spot near where you want to be. My fourth and final tip is, if possible, visit your classroom before the first day of school. This is really important because it's going to let you know what you're dealing with in terms of technology, in terms of desks, and will help you kind of decide how you want to manage your classroom. A lot of the time during orientation, they will bring you into a classroom and kind of show you how to do the general technology, right? How to use overhead, how to log on to the computers, that sort of thing. But a lot of the time, as new hire adjuncts, we're not getting those classrooms. We're getting the classrooms that are older, that might not have the most advanced technology, and so you want to know that going in. Now, luckily, especially if you live in a state like California, most community college classrooms will have at least a general setup so that you can use technology in the classroom. At the very least, they should have some sort of projector so that you can either log on to a class computer or bring your laptop and plug it into the projector so that you can show your students what's on your screen. This is going to be great for any PowerPoints, videos, that sort of thing. If not, though, you're going to want to know that before the first day so you don't come in expecting that you can show videos or use a bunch of technology that just doesn't exist in your classroom. So the first thing before you even kind of plan your first day is know what technology you're working with. Another thing you can do if you don't have access to your classroom is maybe just ask someone who works there and find out if they've worked in the building that you've been assigned. Usually classes in the same building will have a similar structure, so you can at least kind of know what you're dealing with before the first day. Okay, so that's it for my tips. I hope this was helpful. I know that it can be really stressful starting at a new school, whether or not you have experience teaching. So just know that regardless of how much preparation you can do, it's gonna be fine. That, it's a stressful, thing the first day, and so just be aware of that. Be nice to yourself, be kind to yourself, and know that it will get easier and that you're gonna be fine. Okay, good luck everyone.